Hi, my name is Karim Kamel Zahir, and I'm going to be showcasing my music player app that I created using Flutter for my internship with Unique Interns. To begin with, I'm going to be showcasing the app. As you can see here on the right, basically the app allows you to, it displays the images to you, the album covers and the names for the songs to you, and you can also go to press open this drawer in order to either navigate to the home page, which is the same page that we're on, or go to the settings page where we can toggle between light mode and dark mode. Now, if I go and play a song, basically it's gonna direct me to the music page where it's going to have to play the song and it's gonna load. And I can also let's just lower the sound a little bit. Here we go. Now I can also during this play I could seek, I can pause the song, and I could either start it from the beginning, go back to the previous song, or go to the next song. It's all functions, and of course, if the song is about to finish, as you can see here, it's going to automatically transfer to the next song. I have also implemented the shuffle functionality, where if I go to the next song, it's going to be shuffled instead of have it in the normal order. I also made the repeat functionality, where if I'm playing the song and it's about to finish, as you can hear, and here it replays from the beginning, and of course it will keep doing this until I press on the next button, which will turn off the repeat and start the next song. And I also implemented the a back button here to the main page, or I can navigate to the menu again from here, open the settings, and toggle light or dark mode as usual. And in the main page, as you saw, I also implemented this small thing at the bottom of the screen to show which song is currently playing, also allow the user to either pause or play. And next to the song, I have this audio animation if the song is playing, and if it's paused, the only thing is that the name is green uh, compared to the other songs. So if I play the song, it's gonna play. If I pause, it's gonna stop, but it will still be green because of the selected song. And of course, if I press on the same selected song, it's not going to start it from the beginning. Rather, it would just continue from where it is and open the song page. And that's basically the functionalities that I have in this application. Now, let's start digging into how I implemented this. Now, first, I'm going to be stating that that in my Flutter project, I placed in the assets folder, placed the audio files as well as the album artworks over here with also a default album artwork just in case there's any issues or errors. Sorry, excuse me. And basically, I also defined this in my pubsec.yaml over here in the assets part in order to be able to read these assets from here in my code. Now, starting off with the main.dot, which is basically the starting point of this Flutter application. Basically, the first thing that I did is I ran my app in the main, as you can see here, and I used a multi-provider because I used two different providers in the creation of this application. The theme provider, which I'm going to show the implementation for, which handles the theme between dark mode and light mode, and the playlist provider, which I also showed the implementation of. Uh, um, which basically handles all the operations when it comes to pausing, playing, repeating, and everything when it comes to the actual songs. And here's my app, which basically just calls in the home page with the theme that I got from the theme provider. Now, if I go first to the uh, themes page, I could see that I have three things here. The dark mode, which defines the theme data for dark mode, as you can see. Light mode, same thing, but for light mode. And the theme provider, which basically defines the theme provider change notifier that I'm using in the main.dot that I use for toggling between light mode and dark mode, as well as used for getting the state if it's dark mode or getting the actual theme data in order to use it throughout my application. I also have I have implemented that the theme is saved. So if I close the application and I reopen it, it's going to have the same theme. So if I put it on dark mode and then close this application, as you can see it right here. One second. Now, if I reopen the music app through here, it's gonna still be in dark mode and it's still gonna save the same way. Now, it uses the save theme in order to save it using the shared preferences package. And then the load theme loads the theme from the actual storage for the application in order to use it, and then notifies the listeners for that change. And I, of course, made it so it loads the theme once the theme provider is defined. Now, when it comes to the pages that I use for this application, now I use first I have the home page, which is this page over here, which in it I first define init state and then call name the playlist provider as the provider that I got from calling it in the main, as you can see here. And I also made the function to go to the song, which basically sets the current song index from the playlist provider, which I'm going to be also talking about later, to this song index that I pressed on, and then this it pushes the song page, so it switches like this. I also implemented and here is the scaffold where I implement the actual layout of this page. First of all, I have the background color, which uses the theme that I get. And then I also have an app bar, which is the one on the top with the playlist, and the main drawer, which I'm going to be showing what I defined in later. And finally, the body, which consumes playlist provider, which is the change notifier, in order to get the list of songs, and then it returns a column with the children of which has the expanded list view builder. This column holds both this list as well as the bottom part, which shows which song is currently playing. And now here is it's the expanded list view builder, which makes this list take the majority of the screen, while only leaving the bottom part for the actual indicator of what song is playing. And in the list styles, as you can see here, I made it so for each list styles, it uses a single song, while it gets the artist name, the image path, and the also uses the animated music indicator if the current song is the one playing, and it would animate only if the song is actually like on, like if it's unpaused, like this. I also made it so on tap, of course, I will go to the actual song page. And here again is the actual currently playing widget, which is the one on the very bottom. And of course, on tap again, it would take me to the actual player. And here is the widget itself that I use on the bottom here. Most of this are just the decoration and the specific settings that I have for it. But basically, what it does is it has the asset image, as you can see at at the left of it, as well as then it has the a column storing the current song index name, the name for the song, the artist name, as you can see, and finally, at the very right, there is the gesture detector that calls the pause or resume function from the playlist provider, which I'm also going to be showing, and has an icon that checks if it's playing or not, and if it's playing, it's going to be like this. If it's paused, it's going to be like this, etc. Now, this is for the home page. For the song page, as you can see here, which is this one, basically, I have a formatting for the time in order to format the correct, to have the time as in the correct format for the uh, current time and for the total time, which are displayed on the left and the right over here. And here is the widget build itself, which is also a consumer for the playlist provider, where I get the playlist and get the current song index, and then which I and then I also defined here the main drawer, which is the one that opens over here that I already showcased, which basically works the same as in the main page, where you can either open the settings page in order to to change to dark mode, or go to home, which takes you to the home screen. And as you can see, I also created this custom app bar, which uses a row and write playlist and etc. and the open drawer functionality. And then here I use the neuromorphic box, which is a widget that I created here in the components and which I'm going to be showing in a second to create this kind of box that's a floating box that stores either a button or in this case the navigation buttons as well as the actual artwork and the repeat shuffle buttons as well as the slider. And as you can see here, I added the image asset. I also added the song name, the author name, the like uh, icon, as well as the functionalities over here. The, sorry, the icon buttons to toggle either the shuffle or toggle the repeat, which also calls the functions from the place provider, which I'm going to be showing. And over here is the slider, which I also calls the seek function, depending on where I leave it. So if I transfer here, it's going to seek to the position. And I call this function also from the place provider, which I'm going to be showing. And finally, over here, I have the just the detectives and the other uh, buttons at the bottom for the navigation, where basically it has the play previous song, also called from the playlist provider, as well as the pause or resume and the toggle repeat. Which and of course the pause or resume changes its looks depending on either if it's paused or if it's playing. And finally, the when it comes to the last page, the settings page, which is basically just a page which is this one, which has this container is having this button at the side to transfer to open or close dark mode, and it of course uses the theme provider to toggle the theme, and then the theme provider, which I'm going to show in a second, notifies the whole app for any changes. Now, for the models that I used, I already showed you the theme provider. I'm going to be showing now the playlist provider and the song model. When it comes to the song model, basically I made a model class for storing the song information. So this which stores the song name, the artist name, the image path, and the the audio path, sorry. And finally, here is the playlist provider, which handles all the main functionalities of the audio player. Now, here I use the audio players package in Flutter because contacts the specific audio player classes for the depending on the uh, OS that is running. So if the device is Android, it's going to call the media player class, and if it's iOS, it's going to call the class specific for iOS. So it's basically this package basically abstracts those implementations and make only one implementations while the other run in the background. Here I define the songs and the song uh, objects and instances, storing the song names and artists, and also the giving them the paths of the audio as well as the images. And of course, initially I also define the current song index, which is initially null, and define the audio player. Here I also call the durations for the current duration and total duration, the repeat and the shuffle, which are basically initially as false, the toggle repeat and the toggle shuffle functions, which switch them and notify the listeners, and the playlist provider, which basically when it's called, so when I start a song, it will listen to the duration to change the state accordingly. So if the duration changes, it changes the position. If the duration finishes, it plays the next song, and etc., which I'm also going to be showing later. I also have a bool for is playing to check if the actual song is playing or not. And here I have the play function, which basically takes in the audio path, uses it to either stop whatever is playing and play the next path, and set the is playing to true and notify the listeners. And the path basically just pauses it instead and then sets the is playing to false, resume, same thing, resume, then sets it to true and notify the listeners. And the pause or resume is just first checks if it's playing or not. If it's playing, then pause, else resume. And here I also have the seek functionality, which just awaits the audio player function to seek to the specified position like I do on the left here, on the right, sorry. And here I have the play next song function, which basically checks if the current song index is not null, then it will check first if the repeat is on. If the repeat is on, it would store the current song index in a temporary value, null the value, and then store it again. This causes the application uh, uh to re-input the current song index, which causes it to play, as I'm going to be showing later down here. And basically after that it checks if the shuffle is on. If indeed it's on, it would randomly choose a number and make sure that this number is not equal to the actual current song index, so it choose another random song. And then if none of those are on, it will just check, make sure that this is not the last song, because if it is, it's gonna play because if it is, it's gonna play it from like the very beginning, the first song, and else it's gonna just add to the index +1 to play the song after the one selected. And I also have the play previous song, which if the duration is less than it's greater than 2 seconds. So if it's 5 seconds, I will just seek to the beginning, and else if it's just between 2 seconds, then I'm gonna go to the previous song, as you can see here, where I chose the index. And if the index is the very beginning, then I'm just gonna make it so it's the last song. So this is the first song, I press back, it's the last song in the playlist. And here I the listen to duration, which basically carries on the listening functionalities for when the song is playing. So first, it's just that if the duration is changed, it changes the duration. So when I switch a song, it listens to the changes in duration, as you can see. And I also have the position change, which basically changes the the position if I switch between the positions, and on player complete, which basically listens to when the song is finished, which if that happens, it would play the next song. And here are the getters that I use in order to get the playlist, the current song index that is playing, or the current duration, the total duration, or is repeat or is shuffle on. These are the getters that I use in the actual song page and the main page in order to control this page. And as you can see here, I made it so the setter, when the current song index changes, first it makes sure that if if it's the same, if the current song index is the same as the new index, it will not do anything. So because this, I implemented this so if I press on a song that's already been playing, it will not cause the song to restart from the beginning. Instead, it will just like keep going from where it is. And if not, it will check, it will save the current new index, and if it's not equal to null, it will play. And that's the reason I made it so I null the value and then change it again in the repeat function, because when I null the value, it stops playing, and then when I create a new function, it will replace it and check, and as long as it's not gonna be null, it would play the song again. And that's basically the playlist provider function, which handles the functionalities of this application. Finally, I'm going to be going over the components that I used, which are basically two components. The main drawer, which basically is the drawer where I show it, which is this one. First, I have the icon at the top, as you can see here, as well as a home button and the settings button, both transferring to the respective function. So if, for example, if the current page is the song page, it will pop the context twice, as you can see, not only once. So it closes the main page, the main drawer, and closes the song page to get to the main page. But if I'm only on the main page, it's gonna pop context only once in order to be here. And here in the settings page, of course, it's just gonna pop the context to close the actual main drawer, sorry, and open the settings page. And here, the neuromorphic box, which, as I stated, is the box that I use in order to, which I placed here the controls on the bottom, as well as the actual info for the song and the duration. Here, I placed it in this neuromorphic box, which is basically just a modern looking box that hovers with a shadow beneath it. And I also, of course, use the theme data that I get throughout this application in order to toggle efficiently between the different primary or secondary colors depending on light mode or dark mode. Yep, and that's basically my music player application. If you have any questions, feel free to check out the GitHub repo that I'm going to be leaving in the description. And if you check it out and you still have any other questions, you can contact me. You'll find my contact information there. Email me for with any trouble that you might find, or of course, if you find anything that you would want me to change or want me to add to this app. And thank you so much for watching.